Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're playing episode 3, at least for right now. Chapter 3, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Dracula, a love story. I'm a little sleepy today. I had to get up extra early to take my husband to the airport. So that meant packing the baby up, getting him all ready to go. That's a lot. And you hear my phone chiming because I just ordered me some tea because I need it. I need some tea. It's just perk me up a little bit because I'm not a coffee drinker. So, anyway, I was down for a nap. So, let's get going. This episode's called The Brochure. Okay. The dining room proved to be a spacious hall on the lower level of the castle. The big glass doors were open now, and the garden felt like a continuation of the interior. Miriam set the table, and we took to eating. Everyone was in high spirits. And even when we finished eating, we weren't in a hurry to go, enjoying the friendly atmosphere. I looked over the bookshelf with which the walls were covered. So many books, it's almost like a library. I like this little reading hammock thing. I like that. Yes, it's clear that the casa owner was an all-around educated man. It looks like he also appreciated pictorial art. Just look at this fresco. I wonder what it's depicting. Some sort of public prayer? It's a copy of a painting by a French artist of the 19th century, James Tissot. Solomon dedicates the temple at Jerusalem. Is that Solomon? Yes, many painters would depict him. No wonder. He's considered to be one of the wisest kings and was worshipped in several religions. I've read he was a very strong mage and knew how to command demons. Where did you read this? Yes, a legend like that exists. The thing is, Solomon built a grand temple at Jerusalem unlike any that was before, and he did so in an astonishingly short period of time, according to the period's standards. People started saying that demons helped him, and when the temple was built, it was rumored that the king sealed them in a copper jar. He used special sealing spells and threw the jar at the bottom of a lake. I heard about that tale from Milinka. She told me that even today, some sorcerers are still trying to recreate his seals to rule the dark forces. Luckily, Solomon's manuscripts where he describes how to do it were irretrievably lost. Upon noticing my surprised look, Noe smirked. You realize he's probably not for people putting demons in jars? Yeah, I've also heard that story from a slightly different side, to be fair. But if they've heard the story too, then there must be a lot of truth to it, and especially since we're even spending this long talking about it in the episode. Leah was deep in thought. Melody, do you remember the plate we found in the chapel? What plate? I told everyone shortly about our discovery. Yeah. It mentioned the names of Jedediah, Boaz, Jachin. Those names were supposed to help with solving it. Anyway, I looked them up online. Turns out Jedediah was one of King Solomon's names. And Boaz and Jachin were the two copper pillars that stood by the entrance to his temple. Oh, maybe those were the two demons that helped him. Oh, it looked exactly like the ones that stand in your chapel built by Sotet. I guess the owner of this castle was one of those whose mind was haunted by Solomon's secret knowledge. I remember the vision the ghost girl Agnes showed me. Friendly parts of the manuscript. I can't believe part of Jedediah's knowledge is revealed to me. Love to employ it. No, he's right. Sotet was studying King Solomon's manuscripts. Could it be that they described the seals capable of locking demons up? Why did he need them? Did he even apply them? And what became of Sotet after everything? And that thing that looked like a cross that Mika's abductors dropped. Do you remember that? Turns out it's a symbol of a secret occult society, the Golden Dawn. It was very popular in Europe in the late 19th century, but dissolved later. Oh, I've also read about that. They were practicing alchemy and magic. A lot of famous people of the time were members of the society, including Bram Stoker, the author of the Dracula novel. We all looked at Vlad as if on cue, and Millie kept chattering cheerfully. The main character comes to a castle in the mountains of Romania, just like us, and the castle owner proves to be an ancient vampire. Millie tilted her head and winked at Vlad playfully. Vlad, are you by any chance Dracula the vampire? For several seconds he remained silent and then said, Yes, I'm Dracula, and I'm a vampire. I think you have the right to know. My sister burst with laughter. Yeah, sure. Next thing you're going to tell me is that you were the one who attacked me in the forest and then bit Leah. Vlad got slightly pale. He said slowly but resolutely, It's true, and I really regret it, Millie. Oh, I hope she, doesn't believe him again, takes it calmly, starts to finally understand what is what. That sounds harsh, but she's been involved in these events multiple times, and I can't keep her away from it because, she's around us. It'll happen, and she gets dragged into it. Oh, and I'm glad that she kept the new goth look. Love that. But I just remembered that. But I do hope she takes it calmly. Okay. Doesn't believe him again. That sounds luck. My points are balanced right now. Takes it calmly. Also sounds kind of like luck. I understand what's what. Sounds more bravery. I want to pull ahead, so I'm still on path of bravery. Doesn't sound too bad. Let's see. It's impossible to hide it forever. The truth will be revealed somehow anyway. And Millie's not easily scared. I think she'll take it normally. Millie's melodic laughter died down. Under Vlad's unblinking gaze, she finally started suspecting something. Hey, my tea's been picked up. She looked back at Sandra, then at me with a confused smile. Oh, what? He's joking, right? No, young lady. The gentleman isn't joking. Who are you? Wait, a dark-haired man in his 30s? What are you doing here? Oh, wait, Akil. Have we seen him before with Leo's troops? 3 people entered the dining room from the garden. Akil looked over us all with a confident gaze and greeted Vlad with a slight nod. Oh, yeah. We've seen him before. Never mind. Sorry for inviting ourselves, but some business makes ceremonies inappropriate. Vlad got up from the table and took a step towards the visitors. Who are you? And why did you come here? The name's Alan Aquil, the leader of the Tetra group in this region. These are Nella and Henry, employees of one of our units. Leo also rose to his feet abruptly. Listen, Alan. Alan interrupted him. We've listened to you enough, Leo, but somehow we didn't hear the most important things. For example, the part where the person you were supposed to guard was forcefully taken away by someone with a very dark past. Or the part where a Romanian village was attacked by hordes of imps, also connected to that someone. Or that part where he recently arrived here, leading to a new chain of dark events. And only a night message from him revealed an obvious thing to us about who should be the main suspect in the extremely important case entrusted to you. But Alan, Yes, Henry, the next message from you read that you were mistaken it was a false alarm, and a bit later you texted that all the participants of the strange night story are safe and sound. But by that time, I'd already involved all the resources I had and found out many interesting things. He looked at Vlad again. So you're Vlad Basarab Dracula, born in Wallachia. Is it Wallachia? Wallachia in 1429. Closely related to the Dark Forces being their carrier. For some reason, you're literally stalking a young woman, Miss Burnell. And according to our data, she is also sought by very powerful Dark Forces. What a surprising coincidence, don't you think? There's nothing coincidental about it. There's nothing coincidental about it. Yes, he was stalking her, but it's acceptable to me. Stalking is bad though. But like, you're missing some finer details here. Noah was next to get up. He took a step forward, but Vlad gestured at him suddenly and Noah stopped. Holding Akil's piercing stare calmly, Vlad said, Mr. Quill, I don't see any reason to give explanations to you. And I don't really appreciate strangers invading my personal space, and especially that of my friends. So the tone of our conversation could be very different from this. But Leo has told me about you. He said you were an honest, dedicated man. So I'll simply ask you to leave the castle now and get your visits approved from now on. Since me and Quill got slightly confused, but only for a moment. He looked over all of us again as if searching for a wink link, and his eyes stopped on me. He said softly, almost in a father-like tone, Bitch, you not fooling me? You never come here and sling as accusations at the two people I care about most? And then you're like, Melody, you don't know me. For your safety, I advise you to leave the castle today. For my safety, I advise you to get gone. Please. Nothing about you is like you control, dictate over a Henry who literally almost caused us to lose Mika. Like, you don't even know what you're doing. Like, I no. Is he serious? Is he for real? Like, what he thinks I'm just being held here against my will? Like, I don't understand. Limit all contact with Mr. Vlad and refuse the protection of, he looked at Leo, of a person who is of course very sweet, but not responsible enough for a task like this. We know more than I can tell you, but trust me, the danger that you're facing is no jesting matter. We've never seen a scale like this before, and it's getting closer and closer, and these people, even if they mean no harm to you at last, they can't protect you either. And you think that you can? We, me personally, will take you under our patronage. Just say the word. I'm gonna get my tea, but hell no, dude. He's ridiculous. I got tea, So happy. It's hot. Obviously. I'm kind of scared. One sec. Hot, but so good. Okay. Please, your patience. Thank you for your care, but no, I'm not even gonna thank him. Absolutely not. Trust both Vlad and Leo completely. Yeah. I think I want to wrote that one. They've never failed me before. On the contrary, both of them were ready to sacrifice their lives, protecting not only me, but all of our friends. Nicole clearly wasn't a man to show his true emotions, but now he was apparently struggling to hide his increasing nervousness. No one interfered, after all. Tell me, Mr. Aquil, what are the goals and functions of your organization? Keeping the balance of power and justice and protection from threats. Protection doesn't equal offense, doesn't it? You can't attack someone whose threat isn't proven. So, do you know a single case where Mr. Vlad threatened or harmed someone? Or trespassed against justice? I mean, real proof, not speculations. If I knew about something like that, I wouldn't be chatting with you here. Well, we'll wait for him to reveal himself. I have a feeling it will happen very soon. You realize there was already a night attack that you weren't there for. And the only reason that somebody from your order even came by is because y'all were literally stalking Vlad. Like, I don't understand. You were literally stalking him, and that's the only reason you even found out about the dark forces that's been happening all around you, and he's been here this whole entire time. Like, this castle, there's a ghost lady walking around this castle that you don't know shit about. What do you know? And they probably just gonna pop up at like some really inopportune moment, acting like Vlad's doing something crazy when he's just struggling to fight back his darkness, and like take this whole thing completely out of proportion. It's so annoying. Like, I wish these people would just stop. Why do you exist? Fizzing eyes stared at me. But I'm warning you, Miss Burnell. This wait can cost you a lot. What? He turned to Nella sharply. Alright, we really have nothing to face him with. For now. But Leo, I have a lot of doubts about his competence. Nella. He was keeping silent, hiding the facts. He's jeopardizing the case. You know Leo's in the room, right? You don't want to say this to his face? I don't have the right to command you, but I think you should suspend him before your excessive trust in him backfires on all of us. She clenched her fingers tensely and looked at Leo. Nella, you know me. The way I view the work and I treat our case. I'll never fail you. Yes, but... She kept moving her gaze from Aquila to Leo, clearly being tortured by a very complicated choice. Catching her every emotion closely, Aquila suddenly raised his brow hawkishly as though an idea struck him. He produced a stack of papers from his briefcase. Among the strictly formal documents, there was a bright brochure. By the way, Nella, I've forgotten about this completely. Our colleagues from Bucharest have sent me an interesting thing. Aquila opened the brochure and showed it to Nella and then to all of us. To us all. Seriously? Seriously? So, not only are you sitting here slinging accusations, you're also blatantly manipulating a person right in front of me. And you expect me to trust you? Dude, you're fucking shady. Dude, get lost. Dude, seriously. Almost the entire first page was occupied by a picture. It showed Leo and me in a small Bucharest cafe. We were sitting very close to each other, looking like we were just about to kiss. Leo was pressing me against himself tenderly and looking at me tenderly and fervently. Yeah, I remember this. When I saw the way Nella looked at the picture, I lost all the doubt as to the decision she would make. It's not the look of a boss, it's the look of a rejected woman. She swallowed the lump in her throat and said in a cold, businesslike voice, Alan's right, Leo. You're not managing, you're jeopardizing our case. Seriously? Seriously? Because you can't have him? Really? Wow. That's seriously pathetic. Just lost any respect I might have had for her. She's trash. Sorry. The first rule of admission was no personal relations, but you were unable to resist. She has nerve to talk about personal... I'm dismissing you. Henry will take your place temporarily before we can make a more carefully weighed decision. Leah and I are just friends. Aren't you the one confusing personal things with business? Thank you. Like, what? I was going to say Leo didn't fail anyone. But I kind of want to just smack her in the face. Dude, she's so garbage. I can't. I don't even... I don't even know. This is more about protecting Leah than it is about me tearing her down. Because seriously, that's just gonna make her mad. Well, I mean, all of this is gonna make her mad. None of this is gonna change her decision. She's trash. I'm sorry. He doing his justice by his other actions, and he's still managing with the task wonderfully. And he's endlessly devoted to his work. Oh, nice. Oh. However, Nella didn't seem to see or hear me. She turned to Vlad. You made a contract with our agency about guarding the castle. It remains valid. We'll carry out all obligations on security maintenance. I only changed the employee. Leo Nolan has no authority to stay here anymore. What, you think that means he can't be here? Do you realize we own the castle, right? And anyone we say can stay here can stay here. He doesn't have to be working here. That's not true. Leo's my friend. That authority is enough for him to stay for as long as he wishes. Leo shrugged. As you wish, but the contract states the guard manager must live in the castle. The manager is Henry now. Whether you like it or not, he'll be living here. Okay. He's also entrusted with guarding Miss Burnell. Is that in the contract? Because I don't want him following me around, stalking me. And you, Leo, should stay away from your former subject as much as possible. No. Once again, he's my friend. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. You can't dictate my life, bitch. And you just dismissed him. Like, you know it's our professional ethics. I hope you be honoring that at least from now on. If you don't want to lose not only this mission, but our partnership as a whole. Meaning most of your business. Seriously? She's messing with his bag? Seriously? Oh my gosh, she's so pathetic. He's even worse. Look at that little bitch. He just has the most punchable face. Like, I can't. Noah turned around and walked away. Akil glared at us victoriously and followed her. Leo, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Shut the fuck up, Henry. You have nothing to do with this. I'll go get my stuff then. I'll be back by the evening. If I catch you stalking me down the hallway, I will punch you in the face. Embarrassed, Henry nodded and hurried after his colleagues. For almost a minute, the dining room was uncomfortably silent. So back to Millie. But suddenly Millie cleared her throat and asked with a mysterious smile. Can Vlad be the one to carry me back to their room now? Oh, what the fuck? No! No! What the fuck? We dispersed hastily, almost not talking about what had just happened. I wanted to talk to Leo, but he left for his room under the pretext of preparing the reports for Henry. Vlad actually carried Millie back, but to Kathy's room instead of mine. Noe said I wasn't needed at the site for now and left. Sandra went to the kitchen to brew a fresh portion of ointment for Millie, and I went to my room. Dude, these people are the worst. But the moment I sat down, someone knocked on the door. It was Vlad. Melody, are you busy? Not too busy for you. I gotta stop. Not yet, but I was gonna work on the paintings. Why don't we go to my room? We can take the paintings. AI, therefore you can watch me while I pass the fuck out. I'd love to see you work, if it doesn't distract you, of course. It doesn't. Let's go. I took my instruments in the painting cases and went to Vlad's room. You need a workplace? Will this table do? Yes, of course. Thank you. Vlad moved the armchair to the table and I sat down, opened my instrument case. I started looking through them, and as I would always do before starting my work, I noticed that several brushes have worn out, so I opened a pack of new ones. I took one and felt the bristles tenderly. Closing my eyes in bliss, I smelled it. It looks like you really like your brushes. I turned around and Vlad was standing behind my shoulder, watching me with a smile. Yes, I really enjoy feeling them in my hands, taking their smell in, finding out what their personalities are. Your brushes have personalities? Of course, just like people. Vlad took her brushes while examining with curiosity, and I continued preparing the materials for work. Suddenly, I felt a sliding movement of the silky bristles on my neck. I shivered from the pleasant feeling and raised my eyes to Vlad. He smiled but didn't move the brush away. Instead, he ran it further down my neck and laughed, and Vlad laughed with me. It was the first time I'd heard his laughter. You're laughing? Why? He shrugged cheerfully. I don't know. Guess you've infected me. Why were you laughing? I remembered how you tickled me with the grass stem when you took me away for the first time. Vlad took the second armchair and sat opposite of me. He put his hands on the back of my armchair, on either side of my shoulders, and said, Yes, it's a wonderful memory. One of the best. Yeah, especially when I almost fell from the tree trunk. Good thing I didn't, because you wouldn't be able to catch me touching me. That's right. What, really? You let me fall into the grass? Yes, but I immediately fall next to you. He touched my neck with the brush again, let it down to my collarbones, caressing me slowly and gently. His face was changing slowly. He was watching attentively as the brush slid across my skin, with a calm, confident gaze and half smile of an interested man. It was the first time I saw Vlad like this, and it excited me. A gaze like this from a barely known man would be an offense, but from my beloved, it was the highest compliment. Just pure admiration of his woman. To me, his gaze meant that we'd gone to a new level of our relationship. When people are so close to each other, they don't have to hide their desires. Take your top off, please. The request didn't surprise me. On the contrary, in this atmosphere, it sounded perfectly natural. I undid button after button. Buttons? Isn't she wearing like a... Whatever. The button after button, took my top off and remained sitting in my bra. You took more than just a top off. What the heck? What is this line? Oh, it's part of the... Oh, okay, interesting. And you? Take yours off as well, please. I didn't have to ask twice. Vlad took his jacket off and then pulled his fitted black roll neck sweater up through his head with a strong and captivating movement. I couldn't help but part my lips in admiration. He smiled. What? It's very beautiful. You taking a black roll neck sweater off is the most beautiful and sexy thing I've ever seen. Thank you. Thank you. I love the turtleneck. Love the turtleneck. Don't mind me. Now we were sitting opposite each other in our armchairs, both with our bodies naked from the waist up, looking at each other, admiring each other openly and sincerely. Vlad was sitting with his elbow on the knee, leaning forward. His brush and his gaze were sliding across my skin. It made my skin, my body, and my thoughts burn. I leaned towards him as well and said quietly, I'm really glad we have moments like this now. But Vlad, these are not enough for me. I want more of you entirely. I said it without any sadness or regret, calmly and honestly, simply opening my thoughts and wishes to him. Yes, I know. This is not enough for me either. If only you knew how much I crave how much I crave for you, feeling you up close, everywhere. But now we will have a chance that it will happen soon. The brand will be taken off so we can be truly together, the way we both want. I got up and started getting dressed. Yes, and now I need to gather myself and get some work done. Alright, I'll be right here. I finished getting dressed and returned to the table and opened the painting cases. Aisha's portrait was done already, so I got out the new fourth painting. After an hour of work, I managed to clean a small fragment of a blue background, vague for now. And then, I was in the past. At least I have someone watching over me that I trust in the future, so... right back here. Right where we left off. Fun. Her cousin's question was still ringing through Lale's ears. Will you marry me? No, it's impossible. His son has died. I saw his body in his funeral. So, like, is he like some sort of demonic entity? Or is he... But if there's demonic entities, does there stand to reason there's angelic entities as well? No, I'm getting into that. That's type in secret territory. Or is he just like a ghost? And he just doesn't know. The young man was looking tenderly yet decisively at her, never shifting his gaze, waiting for an answer. Lale answered the only thing she could in a situation like this. Cesare, I'm endlessly flattered by your proposal, but I can't give you the answer now. I need more time. We've been friends since childhood, but I barely know you as a man. I need to understand you better before I make such a decision. He caught her hand and hid it in his palm delicately. Lale shivered from how cold they were, but didn't dare to withdraw her hand. Yes, you're right, of course. I'm the one who's been in love with you for a long time. I know each of your smiles, features, the sound of your steps. That's why it feels to me like it's been a long time. Has it been just a few days for you? Suddenly he bowed respectfully and said in a serious voice, You want to know me better. I see deep wisdom and sincerity in that. That's why I fell in love with you. You're not rushing to marry me simply because I'm about to become the Sultan. You see me as a human, not as a status or a source of privileges. He said it's been a few days. He doesn't know about the 4 years. Yes, we should spend more time together. Go on walks. He smiled at the thought of his. Why don't we go to the river now? I've been so drawn to it lately. It's the only place I go. It's quiet and there's no one there. Only my brothers come by sometimes, and I enjoy talking to them, but it's completely different with you. Brothers? What brothers? Hassan laughed melodically. Are you kidding, Lale Khatun? Hatun? Is the K silent? I was just playing a different game, and it had that same phrase, but the K was silent. Is it like Hatun? I think that's the same word. The K is silent. Oh gosh. Oh goodness. You know them. Ahmed and Aladdin. I don't have any others. At this age, he would have known about Mehmet, no? Yeah, they played together as kids. Or did he not know Mehmet was his brother at the time? With the way that the wives were... Lale got even colder. No, Hassan's not alive. He died and he talks to other dead people. Oh. How come I see him as though he is alive? I can talk to him and touch him? The young man clasped her hand softly. So, will you come with me to the river? Lale was intrigued at the same time scared by his suggestion. Hassan mentioned his brothers appear there. Maybe I'll see them as well and we'll be able to paint them. Besides, I missed him for all these years. I don't mind talking to him at all. But on the other hand, what kind of river is it where dead people are walking? The river Styx. Is it dangerous for me to go there? She mused for several more seconds and then said, Sazade, I'll be glad to go to the river with you. I'm sorry I can't come. I think I'm gonna go. Hassan's face lit up with a smile. He bowed. Thank you. It's an honor for me. I need to, get some information. They headed to the exit. Diana was the first to run forward. But she kept coming back to nuzzle against the hem of Lale's dress or lick her owner's hand, demonstrating her boundless love to them. I'm glad Diana gets to see him again. And he's also tangible enough for Diana to see him as well. Lale and Hassan left the turbe and walked the garden. It's a beautiful room, by the way. Oh. The young man chose a path she didn't know. The green trees on it soon shifted into half-dry, unwelcoming thicket. Be careful. There are roots here. If I may take your hand. Oh. The path was really hard to walk at times, so she accepted help and took Hassan's hand. Soon they saw the river. Lale was surprised at how quickly they reached it. The only river I know around the palace is almost an hour's walk away. No, it's definitely not the same river. Maybe just like back in the present time when she was able to traverse through this invisible barrier, since she's just crossed through a different barrier that she didn't know was there. Hassan led her to a fallen tree trunk by the water, helped her sit down, and sat next to her. The dog lay down by their feet, but the dog can get her too. Well, I mean, animals have been shown to be able to cross the barrier, so maybe it's not just a cat thing. Well, this is the river. Isn't it lovely? It's so foggy I can barely see the water, but sure. The river was quiet, very sleepy, just like everything around. Its other bank was hiding behind thick fog. The sky is invisible either, covered by the cloud veil. It's all so real and unreal. How did you find this place? I didn't know about it before. Yes, neither did I. But back then, during the thunderstorm, my hound disappeared. I went to look for her and found this place. Have you looked for her for a long time? Hassan thought about it. I don't know for how long. I'm sorry. Time is so viscous. It's here all the time. It's so difficult to count it. Lale noticed her cousin was growing sad and hurried to change the subject. What about your brothers? Will they come today? Maybe. I never know when exactly I'll see them. All we can do is wait. He smiled. Tell me, is there anything new in school? I've missed it. Hassan took to asking her about the people who studied with them for 4 years ago. Many of them had left Edirne. A long time ago, some got married and some died in a battle. But Lala didn't tell Hassan about that. She was telling him funny stories from their studies, as if they happened yesterday. Hassan was laughing sincerely and recalling other stories. His eyes were lit with joy. At some point, he took Lale's hand and said with a smile, I feel so good with you, so warm and happy. I don't know what this is about. Is it because you're so full of light that you carry everywhere with you? Or is it my special feelings for you? He grasped her hand tighter and leaned closer. Oh, I think he's about to kiss me. What do I do? Oh, you can, probably shouldn't at this point. I mean, this dude's definitely dead. Like, even if you kissed him, like, I feel like it can't lead anywhere, so there's no point cheating on Vlad. I mean, I know it would make him a little bit happy, but yeah, let's not encourage that. No, I only want to be with Vlad. He's the only one in my mind and heart, my beautiful foreign prince. Even though Hassan is not alive, it will still be a wrong. Lale moved away and got up. Excuse me, Sazade, I think we should get back. Hassan got up as well. Yes, you're right. But I hope we'll come back here time and again. I'd really like that. We might. Yeah, if I see you again. They returned to the turbe, bid their goodbyes, and Lale hurried back to the palace. Dang, we didn't catch sight of the brothers. I wonder if we kiss 2 weeks later. Oh, so they've been gone for 2 weeks. So I wonder, yeah, I wonder if I kissed him would I have seen the brothers. I don't think so. Of course, Lale was missing Aslan and Vlad greatly. But daily cares were eating day after day. So time flew by fast. From time to time, she would think about Hassan, recalling their meeting and the walk, but she didn't dare to visit the turbe again. However, today, unlike others, seemed endless to her. Time seemed to freeze, and the girl's heart was filled with impatience. There was a reason for it. By the evening, the palace was expecting mail from the battlefield. Lale was sure her friends would write to her, and she would finally find out how they were doing. In order to make the wait shorter and lift her spirits, she decided to dress up. Fine taste. Ooh. Fun. Or modesty. Also sweet. We're gonna go with this one. And did her hair in a new way. Half done. Long and natural. Or braid. I like this one. Finally, a servant let her know the rider had arrived, and Lale darted out of her room immediately. A lot of people were crowding by the palace entrance, and everyone was waiting for their turn to get a message from the warriors. Lale knew that first, they gave out the letters from the most important people. The captive slaves would be at the very end. So she stood aside quietly, waiting for the crowd to disperse. The rider proved to be Kamal, the helper of Yavuz Pasha. Oh, that asshole. At least he's sweet, but Yavuz is not. Even though Nure had received her message already, she wouldn't leave, standing nearby and watching him. Oh. Lala didn't like to get involved in other business, but worry for her friend made her whisper, Nure, don't look at him like that, and you shouldn't stand here. They might notice. Yes, you're right. Nure lowered her head and stepped away, but she still didn't leave, still waiting for something. Finally, all Kamal had left was several scrolls in a large bundle. As he noticed Lala, he called out to her, and she hurried to him. Any letters for me? Kamal shook his head. Only one. Maybe they wrote a letter together? A letter from Sazade Mehmed, and this. Your relationship with Mehmed is not bad. He handed the bundle to Lale. She took it with surprise. Something soft was under the fabric. She felt her heart go cold. Wait, Kamal, didn't Vlad and Aslan send me anything? No, but... The young man looked around, hunched over, and spoke very quietly. Don't worry, they're fine. It's just that Sazade Mehmed prohibited me from taking their letters. That little shit! I knew he hadn't changed! But how? What happened? Kamal straightened his back and looked around again. I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to tell you this. I hope you understand. Well, thank you for telling me, sweetie. Lale nodded and looked at what Mehmed sent her again. What's in the bundle? A gift for you. Sazade has given me a very strict order to give it directly to your hands. A letter and a gift from Mehmed. Should I accept them? I don't want to now. I barely wanted to before. Now even less. Piss me off, I guess. Turn down a gift from a future sultan is an action with far-reaching consequence. Besides, when we last saw each other, he was very courteous and seemingly sincerely remorseful. Clearly not that sincere. They can keep it in word for my friends from me. But if word gets back to him that I didn't accept his gift, though, he could make trouble for Vlad and Aslan. Because right now he's in power over them. Well, he's always usually in power, but I can't be there to protect them. You know? And he can make an accident happen. So I don't like that. And I can't lie, I wonder what's inside. I'll take a look and read the letter and make conclusions then. Fair enough. Lolly placed the letter in a bundle, thanked Kamal, and hurried to her room. When she got there, the first thing she did was unwrap the bundle. Oh. Inside there was a shawl, a splendid piece of work. As a sultan's niece, she had been pampered with expensive fabrics and gowns from the best craftsmen since she was a child. But she had never seen anything like this before, not in her wardrobe, not on other women in the palace. It was a real work of art. The finest silk, the golden embroidery of amazing complexity and exquisiteness, and a weightless lace on the brim as if made from clouds. Lawyer threw the shawl onto her shoulders and looked into the mirror. It is really pretty. It is very pretty. He still can't buy my affection. The fabric set her skin and eye color off perfectly. It really does. And it felt so pleasant to the touch that she didn't feel like taking it off. Where did a miracle like this come from? And why did Mehmet decide to give it to me? Hoping to find answers in the letter, Lale hurried to open the scroll. Dainty yet firm letters with slightly sharp edges. Lale started reading. Dainty yet firm letters with slightly sharp edges. Is that supposed to describe him as well? Lale Hatan. I've been looking for the right way to address you. Respected, dear, beautiful. All these words are about you, and none of them are enough to describe what you are like. So let me proceed without an address. You know what he reminds me of? You ever seen the show, or maybe read the book for Shadow and Bone, I think? But anyway, even if not that, Ben Barnes, he always plays a bad guy. Whatever. He kind of reminds me of Ben Barnes, right? Is his name Ben Barnes? Hold on. Now I need to know before I tell you the wrong person. Ben Barnes. Google it. He looks like him. Is that a face claim? Is that where they got the... Huh. Could be. Could be. So let me proceed with an address. You must be surprised both by this letter and my gift. However, if you're reading it, you must have accepted them. And I can't hide that it makes me rejoice. It's easy to explain where the gift comes from. One of our captives turned out to be a wonderful craftsman who makes shawls. When I saw his creations, I was astonished. Captives? I know that not a single woman in the palace is capable of seeing the true value of these shawls. For any of them, it would be just another pretty piece of cloth, but not for you. With your artistic taste and sense of beauty, you'll be able to understand the value of this thing. Generally speaking, there are hardly any people capable of appreciating the grandness of art. I could use people like that by my side. That's why I wanted to give the shawl to you. I wanted to share my admiration with the one able to share it with me. Knowing your nature, which I think is inclined to excessive compassion, I suppose you might be saddened by the fact that it's a war trophy. But this is how this world is. Being a conqueror is in man's blood and soul. Whenever I'm feeling soft for him, or like he might be better than he is, I need to remember this moment, the statement. I remind of things my father had achieved over the time of his rule, and I intend to enrich and multiply his achievements, carrying the Ottomans' glory further. That means expansion, taking over territories that don't have anything to do with you. Right. Possessing new lands and nations, not because I'm greedy for power. Oh no? But because if we don't do it, the others will. What kind of logic is that? You don't know that they will. Others who are much less worthy of it. I'd rather build a new world with a worthy place for science, the arts, and beauty than see it conquered by barbarians plunging it into the darkness of rudeness and ignorance. Well, I mean, you can always go out to help stop them when need be. Like, why invite trouble when that doesn't already exist? Like, I don't understand that. Yes, I intend to become a great sultan. But I want to set all the conquests and trophies at the feet of a worthy one. I don't want your conquests and trophies. The one who will appreciate and understand both the grandeur of the gift and the gesture of the giving. The great sultan needs a great woman by his side, a real queen. Why I'm writing this to you? Because of everyone I know, you're the only one who's like this. Smart, proud, brave, able to see beauty, and very beautiful herself. Though, it's just me musing out loud. I hope I didn't bore you with this. With this, I'm bidding my goodbye. One last thing. The best gift for me will be seeing my gift on you upon my return. Ugh. Is our relationship improved enough for me to tell him to fuck off and he'll still be okay with it? Because seriously, fuck off. Oh boy. He's something. Lolly was walking through the garden in deep thought. It was getting dark and very quiet. Her mind was racing. She couldn't get her thoughts straight. On the one hand, the fact that Mehmet stood in the way of her getting news from her friends upset her greatly. On the other, his letter and his gift provoked mixed feelings in her. So beautiful and in a lot of ways wise words. A wonderful shawl. I'm pleased. But what are his intentions? And how will my friends treat them? But she was worried about another thing even more. What could have happened? Why didn't he let Vlad and Aslan write me a letter? Was there some conflict or delinquency? I'd give so much now to get just a few lines from them. Strange sounds came from behind her back. Then something darted towards Lolly from the bushes. Someone's firm, almost iron hand grabbed her and pulled her into the thicket. Let me go now! But the other hand closed her mouth. Lolly fought back with all she had, but the opponent, even though hardly bigger than her, possessed unusual strength. She didn't give up, wriggling, trying to break free from the grasp. The opponent was clearly getting tired of it, and they cursed. Damn you. Are you insane? That's a woman. Is that, Mehmet's mom? I forgot what her name is. You seem like a milk and water girl to me, but you're more like a wounded boar. Milk and water. Lolly used the interruption as an opportunity to turn around and push the attacker on their chest. Oof. But she immediately stopped in surprise. The chest under her hands was clearly female. Lolly took a step back and squinted her eyes, studying the stranger. She's so pretty! Sandra? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? If you're taking me somewhere, I'll go. Thank God, you finally calmed down. Are all Ottoman women feisty like this? Maybe I would like it here after all. I've been trying to catch you alone all day long. I can't go into the palace, but I need to get this thing done. Who are you, and what do you want? The girl yanked her hood off her head and rubbed her sweaty neck. My name's Alexandra. I brought you from the letters from your fighters. Oh, thank you. Aw, the three of us still linked together. Even now. That's so nice. I can't. She's so sweet. Okay, 55-54, nice. That's so nice. Yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna leave it right here for now, but I'm super happy. So my plan though, is to kind of focus down on like one story at a time. So I'm gonna do episodes 4 and 5 of Dracula Love Story after this, or maybe I'll attach 4 to this one. These episodes are very long. I don't want to make too long of a video, but we'll see. I don't know. This one's already, I've been recording for like 50 minutes, but Okay, so I'm gonna get me some breakfast because I haven't really eaten. I've just got this tea. So I'm gonna get me some breakfast. Even though it's like, what, noon now? I don't know. Yeah, it's noon. I'm gonna get me some breakfast. And maybe, later I'll try to see if I record episode 4. But, yeah, that's exciting. To see her there in this time. So I'm excited, for next episode, so that'll be super fun. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and try the like button, some love, subscribe to see more content like this, and I will see you next time. Bye!